Welcome back to the Friday Matinee on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm George.
I'm T, and as I said before, I love being Friday Matinee with you because we get to talk about all things entertaining and
so
creative.
No fires for at least the next half hour.
No.
So I'm gonna tell you. Let's jump forward a week into some history, and then we're gonna jump back in history.
Okay.
A week from tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, Canyon Theater Guild, under the umbrella of Santa Clarita Regional Theater, is putting on The Wizard of Oz. It's, I believe, the third time that they have put on the production. The very first time was in 1998. One of the trees was also there were 3 trees singing. I don't know how many trees they have now, and she had a little teeny tiny daughter that was one of like the ballerinas, part of the little lollipop kids or whatever, and this person eventually came out of the tree trunk to not only become started out with ensemble stuff, worked her way into supporting roles and lead roles, and then directed several shows here. And there's all kinds of things that she's done for fundraising, all kinds of things she's done for kids in the Valley. And then she did something crazy and moved to just outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
A really lovely spot. And they are lucky to have her, and we are very.
And she's back.
I said to her earlier, I'm so happy that she's got this thing where she's back and forth now. So
let's welcome Leslie Barra. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun here.
No. Thank you for having me.
That warranted both of us introducing you.
Absolutely,
that's lovely.
So, and of course, you have been on the Friday Matinee before, and several years and doing things. So, but you're back from Nolensville temporarily,
correct,
for a specific reason. And we've been talking about every summer now for the past few years what used to be known as the Shakespeare Festival has become the LA Summerfest at Rivendell, which sounds really hoity-toity, like you'd have to get on a train and go somewhere, and when it actually, Rivendell is just the Rivendell Open Space and Park right there at the entrance to Towsley Canyon, just off the old road, just south of Cowgrove, very easy to get to. And this is an event, though, that what they're doing this weekend, of course, in launching, is also doing some fundraisers.
Correct. When I met David Steers, who was the person in charge of the Summerfest at Rivendell several years back, George, as George was saying, I spilled over into just about every place that there was something theatrical out here, whether it was the high schools or the rep or the guild or the regional or the Shakespeare folks. And one thing that David told me that they do with the Shakespeare program touched my heart so much that I was trying to figure out how to help him and provide some funds to supplement this. The Shakespeare program that's done throughout the year that this summer program benefits, they go into schools, they go into high schools and present Romeo and Juliet with the big teaching lesson that suicide is permanent. Death is permanent when you're a teenager, and that Romeo and Juliet really boils down to 2 impetuous teenagers making a quick decision, and then they both die.
Despite the Taylor Swift song.
Exactly.
Where she's got it a little bit wrong.
So I was so moved by that it wasn't just, it was teaching 2 things: classic theater, the history and origin of theater, but with a modern day, with a great message to help kids, to remind them of that kind of stuff. So I was thinking, when I moved to Tennessee, I realized that the world is much smaller than we thought it was. And as much as I was doing theater there and getting busy there, that I could always stay connected here and stay connected to my creative family and friends here and still help. So last year I contacted David and said, can I do a fundraiser for you guys to help with the apprentice program that he's got going there? And last year we did a rock and roll Broadway musical themed concert. This year we are doing, out of the box, a salute to jukebox musicals, which really is such a broad theme. It means we can do rock and
almost
disco,
anything.
Almost anything.
And a jukebox musical, of course, those have become very popular. Maybe they have been popular. I know down the street, the Canyon Theater Guild usually does them as part of their summer shows. Basically is a play built around popular songs from a certain era.
Correct. And sometimes it's an artist like Mamma Mia. Those of you who love Mamma Mia, that was all a thinly threaded together storyline to use all the songs of
Or
ABBA.
what was the rock and roll one that was a movie, and it's also, you guys did a spin-off on that. What is that called? The Rock of Ages?
Rock of
Rock
Ages.
of Ages, and we're doing some of that. Yeah. Oh, and that's a
Yeah.
delightful show, by the way. If when it tours, you should see that one. Rock of Ages, Mamma Mia, Jersey Boys is a jukebox musical. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, one of my personal favorites, is loaded with disco music. Those are just some of the shows that we're doing. Motown the musical. Well, I was very grateful that came out recently, because that's the first 17 minutes of our show is nonstop Motown.
Wow.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
That's awesome.
So, talking about this, now this is tomorrow night. What time does it start?
No, tomorrow night is the introduction. Or, I'm sorry, that's tonight. I'm so messed up because I'm on vacation. Tomorrow night it starts at 8 o'clock. You should get there around 7 to get set up to get your little campground going.
Yeah, this is all open air stuff here.
Yes.
And it's really cool. If you've never been to any type of thing at the LA Summerfest at Rivendell, it really truly is a party picnic. In some
Atmosphere,
cases, I don't know if all BYO type thing.
Yes, you may always do that. There's
okay.
things available to purchase, but you can bring your own food. You can BYOB, and you can get up and dance. There's no,
Nice.
honestly.
There's no hang-ups, man.
No, and if you know what, we're not moving you on one song, we won't be offended if you look down at your phone, because you're not sitting in seats. It's a picnic. It's just like going to the concerts in the park at Central Park. It's casual. I love it.
Nice, very nice.
So, talking about this and all the stuff you've done here, there is also, I believe, a scholarship
There
in
is.
your name as well. You have some of this stuff is actually transplanted to Nashville area, correct? Are you still getting your foot in a little bit on that?
I had been working with a theater in Franklin, Tennessee, working with teenagers, and they're a wonderful, lovely little organization. But I discovered that what I wanted to do was so complicated and aggressive for their regular theater schedule that I've now just taken all the kids I've met, and we're doing the gift of song South. Sort of. So I've just
But
started
not
the
Gift of Song of the South, because that would be a
no,
little
exactly,
tough. Okay.
because that's probably
little
not
awkward.
well accepted
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah, our opening thing will be zippity doo dah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I've got a group of kids now that I'm going to take and put in different venues and raise money for theaters that need help. So I contacted a theater that needed some help fundraising, and I said, I got a bunch of kids. Can we use your stage? And you keep the money. So
That's a good deal right
Yeah.
there.
And it started the Gift of Song, something you started out here when a lot of the performers back then were young teenagers.
Yes.
Now, in some cases, in their 20s, 30s, married,
And
et cetera,
kid-
et
with
cetera.
kids of their
I
own.
can't remember their new last names. I feel so bad. There's so many people I refer to by maiden names. They're married, they have kids now. But yeah, the thing I found with kids that love theater is that, when you do something scripted, very often you have such a talented young person, but they're just not fitting the character description, and they never get an opportunity to show what they can do. So when I do these musical variety shows that are theater based, it gives these kids a once in a lifetime opportunity to show people, I could be that character, I could be this
can do
character.
this, I can do that,
And
yeah.
express themselves and get that, without any fees attached or long, and it's just it's a little bit of a freedom I like to provide. It's its own little beast that nobody else really
It's a
does.
gift that you give back. It's given you so much, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
idea that you're
Oh,
sharing
yeah.
that, and as I said to you before we came on air, I love the idea that, because I know you have very, very deep roots here, and you are so connected, and this is family.
Yes.
And you've moved all the way, across the country, but the idea that you are still so connected and talented that you can drop in at really almost a moment's notice and fill some shoes and just like you never left. I mean, without missing a beat, you move on, and it must be kind of fun to you have another side of you now that here very, very well established and a very deep well, and now with your foot in this other world where you're a bit of the new kid on the block, but that's got to
Exactly.
be exciting for them because you bring so much to the table.
I hope so. It's always, theater people are wonderful people. They're a little bit sensitive too, so you have to be very careful. But I've really enjoyed I've gone back to doing other things, and it's kept the, like, I've helped with more costuming. I've been on stage way more there than I had time to do here.
You're in the trenches doing a lot of things there.
And I enjoy that because my thing is I always just like to help people out. So it's like if I can problem solve in something they didn't think about, or I took all my stuff with me, so I'm the crazy lady with microphones and costumes and all this stuff, and they go, oh my gosh, so.
And how lovely. And now we were talking, you've done everything pretty much there is to do there, so that you have this new connection, and you're maybe going to be directing.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hat in the ring. Nothing is locked yet, but
do you know what show it might be, or what you're looking for?
You know what? The way that some of the theaters handle it there is they have you present a show idea, and say when you want to direct.
This is nice because you
That's how
kind
it
of
used
can
to
do your
be.
dream project.
Yes.
Back 20 years ago, down at a certain other place. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I want to start with, honestly, though, is to go familiar, and I think I'm going to present "I Love You, You're Perfect Now Change."
Oh, okay. I was going to say the producers because I would go out.
I know you would come out.
I would
lose George.
I would work. I would work remotely and go out and see if I could shoot some houses out there in Nashville, and then just be in the producers. So if that's ever a thing,
I'll let you know.
And I'm still, if I'm still, if you still consider me for the part of Franz Liebken, I would tell anybody. I would do that anywhere. Anyway.
Yep. So we're on notice.
I want to go back to this because I've seen you grow into all this stuff over the years. Like I said, starting out as one of the trees, and this was a situation where this was back in 1998. Your daughter was 6-ish.
She will be very specific and say she was 6 when she was cast, 7 when it ran. She's very proud of being 6 when she was cast.
Right, and I knowing now that Nikki's in her mid-20s now.
25.
Holy
Time flies.
moly! But what was it? First of all, you never really were that much into theater before. You'd done some singing and stuff, but not really into theater.
I'd done some theater in high school only, just like, I was more dedicated in high school than other kids, but it wasn't my whole lifelong passion. My mother did a lot of theater. My older sister did tons of theater, still does. She's 19 years older than I am. She's 72, 50 years of theater, 55 years of theater under her belt, still in stuff all the time. So I was around it, but it wasn't a huge drive. But I think I enjoyed the expression. I enjoyed learning from people. Every show I did, I watched somebody, I listened, I learned. You taught me so much sound design. We did. When we would sit there together working on stuff, and I watched George, and now I'm the one who edits everything for everybody, and it's crazy.
That version of, what was it, Scrooge the Musical, we had to time out the talking bit through, and we'd talk it through, we're for 40 seconds too short, all that stuff, and we'd sit there and realize how tough that stuff actually is. And that's good. Yes, and that's true. And then you started doing it on your own. But and all the aspects, the sound design and music, vocal direction and things that, had you ever done, because I know sound design you hadn't, but what about vocal direction and all that other stuff?
No. That was one of those things where somebody pushed me in the pool, and I'm grateful for that, and I've thanked him for that. It was Tim Ben pushed me in the pool because I went to him and said, I would just like to help with the little kids on Annie. And then as it got closer, I said, hey, Tim, when do you need me to help with the little kids? He says, oh, well, you're teaching all the music. I am a singer who reads the treble clef only, so that one, I look back on my earlier projects and say, boy, there were a lot of ulcers worrying about teaching people, doing a good job. But over the years, I learned, and now I sit the way I teach the music here. I sit at home in Tennessee. I sing every harmony part, record it, and put it on Dropbox.
And you bring that to everyone who works with you. I had the chance to do that, and what you've learned and your generosity of spirit when you're working with a cast is really lovely to watch, because you put yourself right there in the trenches. Yes, I've done this. Let me teach you. You bring to the entire cast this willing, a lot of people will come in and not admit they don't know something. Okay, and then that's bad overall for the rest of the production. But you give people this open arm policy that you don't know it. Come on, let's do this. I'll teach you. Oh, you don't? Maybe I don't know. We'll learn it with you. You really give a lovely landing and comfort zone to your actors and your whoever's involved with it. And I'm a little jealous that Tennessee gets that, but I do love that you're coming back and continuing that here with all that you do here.
Well, I'll tell you, especially being a person who is really bad and dyslexic at reading music. As a matter of fact, usually if I'm doing a musical, it's like, I'll have the music books there and I will have like the lyric sheet because I'm like, I don't know where I'm at here. Oh, I got to go back to the beginning. It's a coda. What's a coda? That's a Led Zeppelin album. I don't know what this is. But that's a dotted eighth, George. I always say that. But in this case, and talking about the miracle of modern technology where you do sing harmonies in, you've sent me the harmonies. I would listen to them over and over and over and over and over to get them. And this is the thing, too. You've been rehearsing kind of almost cross-country for this event that's coming up tomorrow. And you've got the miracle of modern technology that we have in order to do that. So you're still doing like live rehearsals, right? Or is it?
Yes, this is the way it works, and this is the way I've probably done 8 projects since I moved. I choose all the music, assign all the parts, I scan the music into a folder for those who read the music, or if it's lyrics. Then I put vocal and instrumental recordings in another folder, basic ones, and then anytime there's a specific harmony part, I sing it with the track, label it for the person so that those who don't read music or don't have time to sit with the music can listen on their earbuds.
And memorize it, yeah.
I had all the parts finished about 4 weeks ago. So my expectation of my cast is that when I come in, that they're about 75% solid on that material, and then I polish, and it's actually made a much better product that way, because most of the rehearsal time has been spent, and yes, we've been rehearsing since last Friday, in listening for blend, intonation, phrasing, making it match, things we didn't have time for before, but because they know the parts in advance, now it's like, okay, let's listen to each other. There's too much vibrato there. Oops, you're holding that a little too long. It's so much cleaner than it used to be because of that. And then I use all those recordings from my teenagers in Tennessee. I say, now you're going to sing.
Look what we already did.
Clever
Yay.
girl.
Yeah.
We are talking, of course, with Leslie Barra, a longtime friend and not first-time guest on the Friday Matinee. Now, tomorrow, it's called Leslie Barra's Out of the Jukebox?
Well, David Steers is a sweet man and put my name on there, but it's Out of the Box, a salute to jukebox musicals. Tickets are available at the door. General admission is $20 for regular folks. Seniors and students, it's $17. There are $40 VIP tickets, which get you wine and dessert and a chair. Ooh,
there it is. And so this is a fundraising event for the SCV Shakespeare's Festival. So you talked about Motown. What else can we expect tomorrow?
Okay, Motown the musical, Beach Boys, Jersey Boys, We Will Rock You. I'm very proud of the harmonies we've accomplished on the Queen tunes.
Nice.
That is not
Somebody
easy.
to Love, Killer Queen, and
Nice.
Play the Game. We've got some Righteous Brothers. We've got some John Lennon tunes towards the end. Marvelous Wonderettes, which
Lovely.
covered so many amazing 60s tunes. Priscilla, Queen of the Deserts, probably the disco block's probably my fave. We will come out and dance with you. There's some Gloria Estefan, because she has On Your Feet running on Broadway currently. Janis Joplin. There was a Janis Joplin musical. You probably missed that if you blinked, but there was a Broadway musical called Love, Janis. So we have a couple of those tunes.
Nice.
I think I've hit most of the big artists, but
Perfect
it's
for
a
like the
huge-
demographic here, because it seems like it really spans, of course, not only just for like adults, our age, but
Yeah.
stuff that younger people can
Carole
really.
King's beautiful too.
Yeah, nice.
She's playing right now. I highly.
What's
highly
the
recommend
span range of performers? How many are going to be in?
We have
and-
13 performers, and we have 5 lovely gentlemen and 8 lovely women. We have got David Kenny back with an amazing falsetto on both Jersey Boys and Beach Boys, of Lawrence Patchen, Ed Hill, George Chavez, and Russ Bretal. So they each bring each.
These are
person in this
all
brings
performers that have been
such
out here in
special,
Santa Clarita for
wonderful
quite
things.
some time.
We have Kelly Miyake back from a lot of my Footloose cast and my Rent cast, Melissa Joy Castro Nealand, Lori Dietrich,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rivlin, Sarah Stoddard. I
Wow.
think how many of them have I got? 2 left that I've missed myself. And I'm sure I missed a girl. And I'll
Wow.
feel bad later when I remember who I missed. I
You
said
will.
Melissa Joy, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah.
Kelly?
You did.
Okay.
Well, so in other words, a lot of fun, and especially
Veronica
if you,
Mealy. Lori's daughter, Veronica.
Ah,
She's
there
we
we
go.
go.
There we go.
If you've seen any theater out here in Santa Clarita for the last number of years, at least you will recognize at least one person on stage, if not
And
more.
even if you don't, that's a crazy lineup of talent she just mentioned that will come together. And again, there's so much talent in this valley. You don't have to go far to get quality, phenomenal performances. And as you've said, it's going to be polished. It's going to be sharp. It's going to be definitely something you're going to want to come out and hear.
Well, this is a lot of fun. So, out of the jukebox. What's the
Out of the box.
Out of
a
the box.
salute to jukebox
Out
musicals.
of the box. A salute to jukebox musicals. It sounds like no matter who you are, there's something for everybody. There. And again, LA Summerfest at Rivendell. It's Rivendell Open Space and Park. That is at the entrance to Towsley Canyon. Watch for the parking signs. I know because there are certain places you can park and where you can't park. Do not park inside. Once they close that gate to the rest of Towsley Canyon, you won't be able to get out. So just watch the parking signs.
Come in, turn left.
yes.
And that's your lot.
That is it. Immediate left. And it's right there off of the old road, just south of Cal Grove here in town. I know it's LA Summerfest, and that's just a real nice name of saying overall. If you're from LA, come on up and enjoy as well. Leslie, always a pleasure.
No, thanks for having me, guys. This is awesome.
And LASummerfest.org for more information and for the entire LA Summerfest at Rivendell lineup and what's happening through next month sometime.
That's right.
Perfect. We'll be right back with a Friday Matinee wrap-up right after this on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Migraines and chronic headaches can severely
Welcome back to the Friday Matinee on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm T.
This is the Friday Matinee lineup for wrap-up. See, I already
Wrap-up
jacked it
lineup,
up.
I know, look at
Either
that.
way, I'm George. Long story short. Long day short. Things coming up, of course, we will be at the Country Showdown tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
This is
You
our
and-
third year doing it together.
Yes.
You did it 1 year without me because I wasn't available. I think I was doing 9 to 5 or something.
Yeah, you were
in the
doing
musical.
something, and then
Yeah.
so this year again, and it's a fun event. And I had the good fortune to hear the talent that's coming
You were
up.
at the thing last month. Now,
Oh,
here's the thing:
my
is
gosh.
these are 3 finalists from the competition that took place at Keyboard Galleria. Which do you remember how many people or performers?
Yeah, we had
were?
about a dozen.
Okay, so from a dozen whittled down to 3.
And 3 really, really phenomenally talented 3. This is going to be a tough thing for the judges.
And then also Suzanne Harper.
Yeah, and her
Talk
band
Like
Talk Like
June
June's coming back to headline. They're fantastic, really talented.
It's going to be a fun event. We'll be there. T and I will be co-emceeing again. So lots of fun. And let's see. So we've got the Out of the Box, a salute to jukebox musicals tomorrow. LA Summerfest at Rivendell. Go to lasummerfest.org for times, ticket information, etc.
Zerbo Health Remover was our other, William Lyons.
Bill Lyons, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you can get the book online at Amazon. And we are a week away from opening Wizard of Oz, the Santa Clarita Regional Theater. I know that's opening.
They'll be in next week to talk to you.
Yes, they will. So this has been the Friday Matinee on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Have a great day.